Hi everyone, and welcome to the Taurus March 2022 Illumination reading. This is I Am Illuminated Tarot, a place for you to better connect with and illuminate your own personal spiritual importance. So hi Taurus, this reading specifically is meant to help you find the meaning in the challenge or challenges you are currently experiencing. And this is all to better help you answer the why. Why am I being asked to face this issue now? What is it meant to unlock about my path and purpose, and ultimately the best parts of myself, the unique parts that are meant to be of service to the greater collective experience? So Taurus, I'm going to go right ahead and I'm going to start by pulling some cards to take a look at the energy that you're sitting with internally for the month of March. Then we'll pull some cards to take a look at your external energy, what's going on outside of yourself. Ooh, that's a lot of cards. Let's pull that back a little bit here. And then we'll take a look at the why. Why are you being asked right now to engage your internal energy with with what's going on external to you? And what are you going to learn about yourself in doing so? And what are those blocks and challenges? And how can we help to overcome them? So let's see, Taurus, what are you all moving into March with? The Lovers, okay. And let's see what's going on in your external environment. Now, just right off the bat, the Lovers is a card that, yes, can, let's see, I had a card, sorry, that kind of, oh, 10 of Pentacles, all right. And at the bottom of the deck, King of Cups. Okay, beautiful. So let's get right into your reading here. So the Lovers, with the internal energy, this is about what you love. Now this can be about romantic love, but more specifically or more broadly, this is actually about making a choice in love. So this can be really sitting with that energy of embracing what your heart really wants. This can look like embracing a partner, a romantic partner. This can look like learning to love something within yourself. This can look like making a choice around something that you love to do. It's a beautiful energy, and it's one that really speaks to that broader, I'd say more divine view of love, of how we can utilize the supportive energy of love and lean into that to help us have clarity as to making decisions, making the next move in our external journey, so to speak. So you're being asked right now through the month of March to really take what you're working with internally in the energy of love and start to apply that in your external environment, because your external environment is one of abundance. We have the 10 of Pentacles, and the 10 of Pentacles is that ultimate card of the legacy that we would like to manifest for ourselves in the external experience. So this could look like whatever would feel very abundant to you. Meaning, if you're working with what you love, there's a feeling here of utilizing that as the key to unlock actual physical abundance in your external environment. This could look like following a career passion that ultimately leads to the income that would feel like you've manifested kind of your heaven on earth kind of experience. This could also look like you following your heart to write a book, and that's your legacy that gets left behind. People get to see what you had within you to express that outward. This could look like a beautiful home life with a loving partner and children in a supportive environment, and that's you making the choice to commit to that partnership. So this is a beautiful energy here. And ultimately, why are you being asked to bring this feeling of love, to take what you're considering now and making that choice in love? Why are you being asked to engage that with your external environment? Ultimately, it's to And it's interesting, Taurus, that even though the King of Cups is a card that speaks to the energy of Scorpio, I always associate this with Taurus as well, because there is a feeling around the King of Cups that he can be the spiritual advisor. He is somebody that is so connected on a deep, stable, emotional place with his intuition that he or she is able to express from that deep place of knowing. And Taurus, one of your main cards in the tarot is the Hierophant, which is truly the spiritual advisor. And there's a connection between the two that I feel. But what specifically with the King of Cups I see coming through strongly, it's the other aspect of the Hierophant. The Hierophant can be one where we are kind of almost can get into an element of a dictatorial state where we are setting the rules and regulations and laws in place and asking others to follow those rules and regulations. And yes, those rules and regulations can be set forth because of your ability to kind of see beyond. But what the King of Cups brings us back to is that reminder that we can move away from having to dictate to others what they should believe and the rules to follow, and simply stand in our own power and our own power of emotional connection to spirit, to ourself, to our entire life experience. And that by expressing from that place, we actually have more power and more strength to get across why we follow certain rules and why perhaps when others come to us for advice, that we would maybe perhaps as the spiritual counselor coach them as to how to themselves move forward and why. So there's this beautiful feeling here of coming from this place of determining what you love and kind of leaning into that, utilizing that to connect to the very real possibility that by following this love, you can create true physical abundance for yourself. And it's so that you can understand and emotionally connect to that spiritual part of yourself that you yearn to express and to illuminate for others. And again, the King of Cups it's kind of a character who may actually seem a little cold or austere. He's not going to be the person who comes in and is just talking for the sake of talking, or he's going to come in and interrupt somebody and tell them what to do. He's somebody who's going to sit serenely on the surface with this deep well of emotional understanding and wisdom. And he will wait for others to come to him so that he can share with them the lessons that he holds within his cup. So there's this beautiful understanding of when we focus on ourselves only and what we love, and we focus on growing that, we step up into this place of then being able to share that with others, but more through a way of our actions speak louder than our words. So again, I'm getting this very strong feeling of moving away from that kind of dictatorial Hierophant energy and more into this beautiful, serene, peaceful spiritual advisor where people are coming to you because they've seen what you're capable of. This is an interesting reading, Taurus. Okay, I hope I'm making sense here. Now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to pull some cards to take a look at the blocks that are coming up between you feeling, I think, confident in making these choices. Oh my goodness, so many cards here. Making the choices, or making the choice to follow what you love, to follow your heart here. So we have, yes, right off the bat, I'm seeing this Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords, this is your main challenge card here. The Nine of Swords is one that really speaks to the thoughts, the worries that keep us up at night. Oftentimes they are worries that are just, in the land of the what if. These are the things when we're kind of going over and over in our head. Well, if I choose to follow this, well, then this could happen, and that bad thing can happen, and this bad thing can happen. In reality, they're just thoughts. Those are just some possibilities that could happen. What you're being asked to do is to be able to break through that, because what's on the other side of the Nine of Swords is the Two of Wands. It's a decision. It's a decision that really speaks to, where do I go from here? I can choose to go this direction, or I can choose to go in that direction. And with the understanding that by making this decision and taking action steps towards one or the other, we are possibly going to change some external part of our experience. And I think, there's a lot of cards here that denote choices. We have the Lovers, which can denote a choice in love. We have the Two of Wands, which denotes a choice in kind of which path to go at this point. And then we have the High Priestess, also the number 2, denotes a choice that you are understanding on a deep, again, kind of with the King of Cups, this deep place of knowing. It's like when you just wake up and you just feel it, you know it. And she's just sitting with that. So there's a lot of this feeling of like making that choice and kind of standing in that power. With the Four of Wands, this is at the heart of your reading. This is what Spirit's asking you to embrace, to be able to follow your heart. And what is the Four of Wands? The Four of Wands is a stable foundation. It's a foundation that you have taken action towards building, and it's something that Spirit would like you to have faith in. When we think about Taurus, you as a astrological sign, as well as kind of what's represented in the tarot by you, but specifically going back to the Hierophant, that there is this, when you have Taurus in one of your main, I'd say in your Sun, rising, Moon, or Venus placement, that there is this aspect that part of your life's journey is to accept and lean into the spiritual, almost like the higher spiritual nature of your experience. And this can speak to that there's some aspect here that when we think about leaning into our spiritual nature, there's an element there of having faith that we do have a spirit, and that we are connected to a larger spirit, and that spirit comes from some aspect of something in our experience that we cannot explain, and yet we also cannot deny that it's there. So there's this feeling of having to learn to have faith, and that is part of the journey of being a Taurus. And so right now what you're being asked to do is to fall back. This is a lesson in faith, a lesson in having faith within your own ability to be that spiritual advisor. And the Four of Wands speaks to, you've already built a foundation. There's already something within your life that is stable and firm, and you have taken action towards creating. And this can actually even denote something that others have celebrated with you, or that would like to celebrate for you. It's that strong and wonderful of a foundation, and that you're being asked to lean into that and to have faith in it, so that as you make this choice to follow what you love, you understand that you have this foundation already built. You're just now building on top of it. You have this strong foundation to fall back on. Because on the other side, we have the High Priestess. And the High Priestess is one of deep knowing. It is when we get a chance to go and connect with our intuition, and we just, it's almost like when you speak to somebody and they said, I don't know, I felt like I had to do that. That's the kind of feeling that comes with the High Priestess. But where the issue with the High Priestess can come in is that she is sitting with this knowledge, but she is not somebody who takes action. She is somebody who just has that deep knowing and understanding. And so you're being asked by Spirit to take action. But what is kind of blocking you between here, the knowing of what you want, knowing what you want to choose, knowing which path you want to go forward with, and where you want to kind of bring in this heart-centered awareness of what you love and really pursuing it, is the Five of Cups. That is a card that speaks to kind of crying over spilled milk. This is when we have regrets about the past and we're having a very hard time getting over that, where we keep looking back at what didn't work instead of realizing, like in this picture, turning around and seeing, well, what did? I may have 3 cups that are turned over and the liquid has spilled out, but I have 2 that are upright and full behind me. And what that really represents is that we forget sometimes, we get lost in the things that didn't work out and that have hurt us emotionally. And we block out and push away the people who are closest to us, who want to come in and connect with us on that deep level, to offer us that support, to give us that beautiful support that comes through the energy of love. And what Spirit's asking you to do is, can you get past this? Can you let the past be the past and realize that the reason why you feel like you love something, the reason why you feel called to choose something, the reason why you've been building a strong foundation around something already is because each one of us has something unique to us that we hope, dream, wish for, and that ultimately we love. And it's time to realize, it's time to bring that part of yourself back out. That yes, just like a kid falling off of a bike, we may not succeed the first time we try to follow a dream, or the first time we try to get into that romantic partnership that we've always dreamed of, or the first time we try to build that home life, or the first time that we try to start that business or follow that hobby or interest. But it wasn't meant for you not to continue to follow it or not to try again. It was meant for you to realize, okay, there's something, just like a kid learning to ride a bike, there's something I wasn't doing quite right. Whether it was the timing, whether it was the environment. I mean, if you think about a kid trying to ride a bike for the first time on the sand in front of the beach, that probably isn't going to work out too well. But if he realizes, oh shoot, I can't pedal on this deep sand, and he picks the bike up and he goes over and gets back to the sidewalk or the street that's next to it, and he tries again, well, then he's learned something right there. He's learned it's far easier for me to, and I can go a lot further and a lot faster if I pedal and bike on a hard surface versus a soft one. And there's something in this here that, Taurus, the time is now. You've learned lessons, and yes, you may have failed in the past, but you are standing with a strong, firm foundation now to start again, that perhaps you didn't have the first time you tried to pursue this interest, this something that you love. And it's time to stop kind of crying over spilled milk, to pick your head up, realize the help and support you have behind you, and to start working your way into this level of abundance. Don't be afraid of the success that can come in this time around. Okay, so Taurus, I'm going to go ahead and now I'm going to pull cards here for the concept, for the principles of curiosity, courage, and contemplation, where we're going to go ahead and we're going to engage the Triad of Engagement, which is a coaching tool I utilize in my practice to bring what is a very general message down into an individualized experience for you. So we're going to see here where Spirit would like you to be curious for the month of March, to bring awareness to some aspect of your experience you're not already aware of, and by doing so, allowing you to see something that's going to help you have the courage to, I feel very much, try again. And to get past all of these kind of the worries, the what ifs, the negative what ifs. When we think about utilizing the superpower of courage, it is where of curiosity, it is where we get a chance to really step into that place of kind of wiping the slate clean as to what we think we already know is going to happen, and opening ourselves up to curiosity about, well, what do we not know? What do we not know we don't even know? And allowing yourself to really open up to the awe and wonder in life. And that's where we get a chance to open ourselves up to miracles, because we, instead of saying, well, this probably is going to happen and this negative thing's going to happen, we say, well, what if something amazing happens? And I don't even know what that's going to be, but I'm going to allow myself to lean into that, to have faith in that. So we have 2 here. We have 3rd chakra, Archangel Chamuel, number 37, breaking down to a 10, further breaking down to a 1. And we have hostilities, number 26, breaking down to a number 8. So this is very interesting here, Taurus. I see right off the bat, there's a strong connection. There's a difference between standing in your power and shining a light for others, and standing in your power and looking to kind of cut down or control others. So if you notice, and I think this is going to help kind of a little bit with the fear around pursuing what's in your heart, that right now you may be in a place of defensiveness, of, you know, don't come near me. And, you know, I'm, it's almost like when you want to, you know, put something out there that you love or follow something that you love, if somebody gets too close, you're like, no, like, this is what I love. Don't come near it. I don't want it to get hurt again. And there's a difference between that and, again, standing in your power, where you have the choice to be curious this month. Where have you been kind of pushing away this lovely 2 of Cups that's still standing behind you, the love and support of others within your experience who want to help you achieve what you would love to achieve? Instead of standing firmly with that 3rd chakra, which really, it's your solar plexus chakra. This is the seat of our ego. It's the seat of really understanding, this is who I am, and this is the power that I have to wield, but not wield it like a sword. Instead, shine it. Shine it out for others to see the light of. Shine it for others so that it is a beacon to attract to me what is meant to support this. And I love that it's number 37, breaking down ultimately to a 1, because there's this feeling of endings and beginnings. This is the I. This is you standing in your power. Where with hostilities, we have, yes, he may be standing in his power, but it's a lower version of that same power. This is when we feel that power has to come from being defensive. The power has to come from us wielding, a sharp sword, whether this is our words that we injure others by, or whether this is our actions that, again, we're choosing to push people away. So really what Spirit would like you to be open and curious to is kind of just like the King of Cups versus the Hierophant. Where can you just simply stand in your power, own it, and allow almost like the pieces to fall into place around you? And it's not about forcing others to see your vision. It's about simply just knowing it, building on a foundation you already have, and leaning into the support that's already around you. Beautiful message here, Taurus. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pull a card now for what Spirit would like you to be aware of as to where you should be courageous in taking action for the month of March. So what does Taurus need to know about tapping into that beautiful, powerful principle of courage? Where do you need to take action this month? Now, for all of you, I do have, if you're interested in working with the superpower of courage, I did just put up a video on my channel. It's a 30-minute video where I really dive into how working with the very simple and powerful concept of courage it's like the first step in regaining that beautiful control we all want to feel in our lives, and really being able to unlock the uniqueness that lies within you. All right. Oh, I love this. Okay, so we have, for the point of courageous action, we have surrender comparisons with other people. It says, keep your eyes trained on yourself, focus on your own strengths, attractiveness, and power. Love this. So, Taurus, as you are starting to get the courage to overcome these fears and to follow what I feel is a dream, a new path, and to try again at something. Yes, we can get into that place of trying to compare ourselves. This can be where we sit there and we say, well, why is it even worth taking action towards? Like, everybody who's my age at this point I would have already achieved this if it was meant for me. This could look like you really want to have that romantic partnership and maybe you want to have a family, but you're a little bit older and you're like, oh my gosh, it's just never going to happen. So why even try that again? And it's like, but maybe you've been working towards that. Maybe you already have part of that already stabilized. Maybe you already have the home and the good job and the free time to maybe go out and date other people, but you're pushing away those within your experience that maybe could introduce you to the potential love of your life. And all that person has to do then is kind of come into the foundation you've already built. Or this could look like where people think that they are too old to change a career path. Oh gosh, those youngsters, I'd have to go back to school and I don't even know how to utilize, the new technology and the software that's out there. And sometimes this is something a truism I've discovered in my life, is that when we tell ourselves these things, what we don't realize is that we each truly are a unique individual. And that sometimes, again, what works for others, we might not even need to utilize. Yeah, at a certain point, it is good to stay current and understand, the changes and the growth that happens in all aspects of our experience, including technological advancements. But I have seen people, even in this day and age of social media and hyperconnectivity, still become very successful in the fields they choose to follow, even without diving into, let's say, all of the crazy aspects of social media, or without utilizing software that is beyond their ability to learn easily. We sometimes push opportunities away because we're just afraid of what we don't know. And in reality, if it's meant to be, the way will come to us. But we have to start to take those action steps out there. So again, that's where faith kind of comes in here, Taurus, is that you have to have the faith that as you move towards what you were designed to love, why you instinctually want to keep moving in this direction, why even though when something didn't work out previously, you still want to do it again. There's a reason why. Because it was meant for you. Because this is part of your destined life experience, but you, through free will, have to rise up to have the courage to take action towards meeting destiny. Because destiny is a concept, but until we engage with it, it is nothing more than a concept. So it's time to realize that everybody is their own unique singularity. And when we think about it like that, we really can't compare ourselves to other people, because every single person is on their own unique path and holds within them their own unique potential. So what's yours? And it doesn't matter about the timing. When we think of some famous people, there are, I'm trying to think of a specific example, but there are many examples throughout history of people who have either changed a career path maybe 2 or 3 times in their life, all the way up into their 80s, and were best known for what they did later on in life than what they did earlier. There are people every day who meet and marry in their 50s and 60s and 70s and still had the life experience that they were hoping to achieve. And that's when we hold room for miracles. And I really feel that strongly here for you, Taurus. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and we're going to pull a final card for the concept of contemplation. This is what Spirit would like you to reflect on and keep in mind as you move through the month of March, to help kind of be that extra point of awareness. It's also a point of where you get to hold yourself accountable to the consequences of your actions, to see if they're kind of holding up to the message of this reading here. So we have, it says, get grounded. It says empaths, highly sensitives, connect with nature, which is perfect for you, Taurus. You're a sign of Venus, but you're also a deep earth sign that's connected to the earth. And it says inner temple, devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. I love that. There's almost this feeling here a little bit with that tune into the portal of your heart. It's almost like I think you guys don't realize how strong this foundation is that you've built, that when you decide to actually take action, and if you can get past this kind of loss and regret in place of crying over spilled milk a little bit, that when you get the courage to start acting on behalf of this choice made from the heart, it's almost like you're going to go through a portal. It's going to be like where you literally, it's like a stargate, where you're going to all of a sudden kind of be zipped across to this abundance out here that I think you thought was so far away from you, and it's so much closer than you're aware of. And when it says get grounded, empath, highly sensitive, connect with nature, there's this feeling coming through of really getting down to, I think, kind of even like with the high priestess here. There's a practicality coming through in this reading that you can't just kind of stay in your emotional world. You can't just know the choice you want to make. You have to actually get grounded and make it happen. And that's what I'm seeing here for you for the month of March. It's time to allow your heart and what you love to be expressed. All right, Taurus, I hope this has been an illuminating reading. If you would like to illuminate your own personal spiritual importance and to see how it can be of service to yourself and others, you can click on the link in my description box below to visit my website to book a personal reading or a one-on-one coaching session. I hope you all have a wonderfully empowering March. I think you're going to be again surprised by that stargate that opens up as soon as you have the courage to take action on your uniqueness here, on what you love as a unique individual. I will be releasing mid-month readings around the 15th, and then I will look to see you all in April. So Taurus, if I do not see you until then, have a wonderfully loving and illuminating month of March. Bye.